Hello and welcome to Soul Love with Kimness. I am Kim van der Zande, your host, and I'm super excited to share another episode of Soul Love with you, where we share inspirational and empowering stories from the heart. We talk about the beauty and the shadows as both are part of the ascension journey, to remind you that you are powerful, you are magical, and to have trust in what you feel to be true deep within. Enjoy this next episode of Soul Love. Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of Soul Love, and today my beautiful soul sister Lara Alexander is joining us, and I'm super excited that you are here from South Africa. Good morning.
Good morning, my beautiful friend. So wonderful to join you in this beautiful space. Thank you
It's
for
really
inviting me.
Yes, it's really great. It's such a gift to share all of your beautiful stories and energies with the world, and to just have these empowering conversations, because there are beautiful golden nuggets shared in each and every one. So a beautiful thing that we have in common is speaking, channeling, light language. And I wanted to ask you, how did you became aware of when you were speaking light language, or when did it start, or did you had like an awakening, or was it like you did it always, or what was your journey with that?
For me, I think the start of my awakening happened in 2012 when I was in a beautiful journey in Peru. I think that was where the catalyst started for me, because I started singing songs that started coming through, and I sang them for years. And it was in 2018, I think it was around about March 2018, one morning I woke up and I just started speaking. I just started speaking fluently. And I happened to actually be speaking to my husky. She was on the bed at the time, and I was like, oh wow, this is amazing. Is this from like your home? Is this like your star language, Lola? Because her name was Lola, and it was so beautiful. And from there, I actually didn't really know too much about language, light language at all. It was really a time of having to do a lot of research and understanding, sitting with myself. And the songs just started flowing. It was actually during a very difficult time in my life as well, with the passing of my dad, that the light language actually triggered within me and became active. And that actually became a very big and powerful healing tool in my own life. And through that, just sitting and doing a lot of self-mastery and working with the language and my divine team, that I was able to really get a better understanding of what my divine soul gift was and how to share that with the world.
That's beautiful. Yeah. But there was just like a big awakening, you traveling to Peru, and then in 2018, another one where you, but you already, without you knowing it, you already sang these songs, or already language was coming through you. But how did you notice that it was light language, or not just, how did you discover that in your own journey?
Sure. Yeah, that's an interesting question. It was a lot of trust. A lot of my journey has been about trusting myself, because in the beginning as well, I really had to sit and really tap into what it was.
Yeah.
And not just relying on what I was reading or researching, because at that time there was a lot of information, but it wasn't really specific to me, as an example. It's like, I think everybody's way of expressing it, because I express it through dance, which has always been there.
Yeah.
My hands, as well as written. So there's a lot of different modalities or ways of expressing light language that do come through, but the main modality for it is for healing. It's for healing. But yes, it really had to be a lot of trust, a lot of self-mastery that went into it, a lot of time sitting with myself and really just opening myself up and questioning and asking and just being open to receiving.
Yeah, it is. I noticed that within my own journey as well. It's like, it's also trusting that whatever wants to come through, and also the practicing and the really deepening in yourself, that also within, I think me, I don't know exactly when it started, but I started singing like songs as well. And then it was just like discovering that when a friend was close by and I was singing these songs, that she would experience upliftment, or she would experience release of something, and then in a playful way you discover what it means, or but I also know within myself in the beginning, when I spoke light language, and it can come in many forms, I had the frustration because I didn't have the consciousness yet, or the words for it. What does it mean, what I'm singing? I know people feel uplifted, and I know something is happening, and I feel it in my body and in my sensations, and I see it happening, but I don't have the understanding yet, or I don't have and then it's trusting that the more you practice, it more it opens up. There was with me as well, like the more I practice, at one point I received words, or I receive the images. But in the end, also what my guides keep sharing with me, and that's a beautiful thing with light language as well, it is the language of your soul. And it is up to your soul to decide what it means. So my guides kept saying, but it's not up to you to know what happens in the other or to really understand, because it's such a pure language. So when you translate it into words, there's always a little bit loss of in the translation, almost in the forming a word out of the energy you receive. And light language is such a pure form that just your soul and your body and your cells know what they need to receive out of it. And that's what I love when I work with it. It's like it just passes by your mind. But also I love, as you share, that as we go through the journey of embodying and truly stepping up in that space of, okay, I'm ready to speak light language. I'm ready to share that with the world, that we already need to be so confident within ourselves. Because I think that's also a big, like you shared, mastery piece, like feeling confident to say to the world, oh, I speak light language, or because there's so much still misunderstanding, or also so much shame on that topic, almost like, because it's different and it's stepping up in visibility and in, yeah. So did you notice that within your own journey, like also the visibility part and stepping up into being different? And yeah, because you're sharing your light language beautifully, but there's a whole journey that goes prior to saying, okay, I'm ready to stand up in this space. And yeah.
Yeah, it does take a lot of courage. And I think that's a lot of self-empowerment as well, because when you can get into that place of self-empowerment and trusting your journey, trusting where you're being guided to go and sharing your gifts, as long as you know your truth and what it is that you're here to do, then I think that's really just, it comes from a place of the heart and it comes from love and it's your truth. And for me, that's been a lot of my journey. It's the self-empowerment, it's the trust, it's following my heart, it's knowing my truth. And I'm just sharing authentically because I'm being guided to share this beautiful gift, because it is such a beautiful gift. And those that are open to receiving it will receive it. And as you said, it's not something that needs to be understood by the linear mind. It's something that gets felt in the heart, and that's where the magic happens.
And that's also our truth, because I think we have so been taught that when we can logically understand things, then it's truth. And when we can rationalize things and connect dots, but more and more we are being asked to listen with our hearts and to listen with our body, because that's our authentic truth. And that can be different for everyone, but it's tapping into the wisdom, knowledge, and that we have within our body, within our field. And that's the beautiful thing about light language. It's also different for everyone. So some it comes out in songs, and some it comes out in hand movements, or in writing, or in dancing. It can have many forms, but everyone will resonate with it or not. But you feel it within your body if it is yours to receive or not. And it's always in co-creation with your higher self. So it's such a beautiful, pure form, also to work with it ourselves and to. Because in the end, I think the beautiful message is also allowing our expression to be, because it's being open to let ourselves be a source of the divine, or be a creation of the divine, or co-create with the divine, or whatever name you want to call it. But it's receiving energy and then allowing it to express in any form that feels aligned. So I love that you're saying dancing and writing and singing. It can come in so many forms, and it's beautiful. But do you also use it when you feel things come up in yourself, in like when you feel you're in the next growth and expansion? And yeah.
Yes, I do. I definitely spend a lot of time in the evenings doing self-mastery on myself. I've been able to use it to clear a lot of blocks within myself. A lot of the work that I do is about self-empowerment. It's also assisting myself. That has been part of my journey, to assist myself as well as others, to empower them to be in their potential and to live their life of purpose. So I work a lot with the timelines and being able to weave our energy fields, our etheric body into different timelines, higher timelines that will support us in this here and now moment. So a lot of the people that I have worked on as well, it all depends where they are in the moment. So it meets them in the moment, whether it's things that need to be shifted, whether there's an emotional blockage that needs to be released or cleared, or just in receiving activations or downloads which aren't outside of themselves. It's already in the soul space. It's just really about activating that wisdom within.
Yeah. It is, yeah. And I love that, because then it's also when you tap into that wisdom within, you have this tool or this co-creation piece within yourself that you can use whenever something comes on your path and you feel empowered. Because I think that's the message also of this time. It's like, find the answers within yourself, activate the wisdom within yourself so you can feel the strength step up and to handle whatever comes on your path, to feel empowered from within. And yeah, because it's time to not look at answers outside of yourself. And sometimes it's beautiful to have someone holding space for you while you go through these layers, because we have all these layers, we have them as well. It's like sometimes they can be, it's like sometimes you have these blind spots, or sometimes they can be very deep rooted. And then it's beautiful that someone just holds space for you and says you're on the good way. It's not like you're stepping back, you're stepping forward. And that's why things come up. Sometimes we all need these reminders. But in the end, it's about finding the empowerment within yourself, because that's the biggest gift you can give yourself. Like, yeah. And those can look in many forms, because that's also, I think, in this time, you can sometimes compare yourself with someone else. Oh no, light language needs to be as this person, or needs to be as that person, but it needs to be your unique light language. And that is also beautifully how you embody that. It's like you have these different forms, but they're uniquely yours, and the same with me. But for you listening or looking at this, it's like for you, it can look very different. But it's tuning into the version or to the uniqueness that wants to be expressed through you. Yeah. And also, I think, did you do, because what I noticed when I grew up, I always sang these songs, but I didn't know it was light language. But most of the time, the way we express it can be dancing or drawing or whatever, is a way we already did when we were younger. It's like only we forgot about it. I don't know if that's the same with you, but.
I wouldn't say with the songs necessarily. I've always been very artistic, so a lot of mine came through in the drawing and through that sort of expression and through dance.
Yeah.
It was interesting because as a child, I was told, even in school, don't sing. You can't be part of the choir. You don't have a good voice. And that in a way, I think, shut me down. We don't actually realize how impacted we are by others' perceptions of us. But I mean, what a thing to tell a child, but that did affect me for most of my life. So when I started singing these songs in 2012, when they started coming through, it was always just to myself. And then in 2018, when I started singing, there were just songs that were flowing through me nonstop. Like song after song, it was the most beautiful and most empowering thing I've ever experienced. It was just pure love. And then one night I was actually in a ceremony space, and I was asked if I could sing a song. Because everybody was asked, was going around in the circle, if there's a song in your heart and you'd love to sing it. And I thought, wow, I've got a song. And I just opened up, and from there I just started singing in public, and from there it really just evolved so beautifully in the spaces that I hold and in the spaces that I attend as well, to share this gift.
That's beautiful. Yeah, but it's as you share, I feel like the healing power from within, because that was really you healing these limitations you received as a young girl, you healing that from within, because I think that's the most profound thing, you allowing yourself to sing, but also by that healing these limited beliefs and healing these, but there are so many of those programs that kept us, because I also think sometimes subconsciously, like the most powerful things are also the things that we received the most resistance on when we were growing up. It's like, don't be too much, don't be too loud, don't be too different, because that's like, so just be like the rest. But by that we lost our gifts, or we forgot about them, and we put them under a lot of layers. So it's beautiful how you stepped out of that, and how you, through singing, healed that part in yourself, and now are stepping up. And I think we are all being invited each time to do that. We are all being invited each time when these layers present themselves, to stretch ourselves and be brave enough to find the healing within ourselves, to grow and expand. Beautiful. And what if you now look back to a couple of years ago, what would you have said to yourself, right, like seen from now? What would you give yourself as advice with all that you know now, for someone listening here?
Follow your heart and trust yourself. Most importantly, trust yourself. Trust what's coming through for you. Trust your journey. As long as you trust yourself, I think, you can't go wrong. You really can't. I mean, it's not like you're not maybe going to make choices that aren't always in your best interest or in your highest good, but those are all part of our journey. And I really believe that. It's about self-forgiveness, even for those choices that weren't maybe in our best interest, but it's through that we find self-acceptance, self-forgiveness, self-love. All of those form part of the bigger journey. It's really just having patience with ourselves and just allowing. I think the more we tap into our own heart space, the temple of our heart, the more we tap in and listen, and the more we just allow, the more we are able to really be our authentic selves, and to just trust in where we've been guided to go, and how to share our gifts and to tap into our gifts.
It is, but that's a whole journey, because we haven't been taught that in school or through growing up, or so it's like an unlearning that we're doing to really listen to our heart and to trust the guidance we receive, and then to be brave enough to take the steps that are necessary to do that. But also I love as you share, because life is about experience. So also not judge yourself for the choices you have made, and maybe the choices you're still making, because it's like the moment it's enough, you will feel it. And sometimes we also need to learn something still through what we're experiencing, or yeah, because it's really trusting also that when the time is there, you will make a different decision. But to just embrace the experience, to embrace the beauty and the shadows, I'm all about that, and just embracing the oneness that we are, and to not judge yourselves, because it starts with that, the softness, the love, the non-judgment of who we are, but also the non-judgment of what we're doing. Because sometimes it's true that seen from a human perspective, the crazy things we do, that something suddenly opens up, or yeah, but it's like the spontaneous things that our heart is guiding us towards, or yeah, it's beautiful. Because what guided you to Peru? What was you in 2012 saying, oh, I want to go there? Or it was, I think, also your heart, or
It was a soul journey calling. I felt it from about the age of 18. I just felt that I had to go. I had to go to Machu Picchu. There's just certain sacred sites like Egypt as well, which is where we first met in person. There's just certain locations, certain activations that we need to return to. There's that soul remembrance of going back, being there, allowing that time to possibly. For me, I know I had to go back there for certain reasons, to complete certain things, and also to birth certain things for myself in those sacred spaces. So I think it was the same for me when I went to Peru. I think there was something there that needed unfolding, activating within me, and that really was the catalyst for my journey, which has brought me to where I am in this now moment, which I'm so grateful for.
Yeah, I get that. But it's also that's what I noticed when I went to Egypt and Glastonbury and all the different sacred sites. It's sometimes, or most of the time, before you feel the calling within yourself, but you're not consciously aware why you are guided there. Because with everything we do, the next puzzle piece of our journey is revealed the moment we are there. Where we so been conditioned to know all the steps. Like, I want to know what is going to happen. I want to know the 5-year plan. I want to know all the steps. And because that is it's a false belief of safety within ourselves. But with these journeys, we are being invited to be a pioneer. We are being invited to stretch ourselves, to go beyond the known, because we are not here to repeat our past. We are here to create something new. So it's each time that was for me with Egypt. It's like, it's calling me, but I don't know why. But I'm just ready to stretch myself, to grow myself, because I know when my heart is guiding me towards something, it means something, and I need to discover what that is. So I rather experience the experience rather than staying in the comfort zone of not knowing, and always thinking my whole life, oh, what if I done this, or what. I'm all about experiencing, rather experience something I did do than I didn't do. But I love that as well. It's like collecting these codes of deep remembering within ourselves, and sometimes we can do that through images or videos, but sometimes we need to be there physically to activate that part within ourselves, to release, and then allow even more of our magic to open up. So I love also that you said, like, Peru opened it up, and Egypt, it was magical. And it's truly, these places, they just accelerate your journey. They accelerate whatever whatever wants to be activated within yourself. And I think it's beautiful, but it's also a stretch. I don't know what you like, especially also after Egypt. Egypt is really it's a powerful vortex. You need to be ready to go there. But when you are ready, it reveals so much magic, but it's also like some ongoing, because then more of your light opens up, and then you feel like, oh, this is something I want to do with. Or so it's also like, it's such a, what I experience myself is, it's such an accelerator to go there and then activate these things within yourself, feel the co-creation with these codes. But then it's like, okay, I'm now being prepared to step up in a bigger way. And that's sometimes, it's almost like what I try to share is like, it's almost like you peeked around the corner and now you can't go back, because you've seen the beauty, the magic, the power. You felt it within your body, within your beingness. And then it's, taking the next step. I don't know how that was for you, but I know a little bit about after Egypt journey, but it's just, each time you elevate, you want more. Yeah.
Yes, it definitely has opened up. It's allowed me to expand. It was definitely a journey that is very difficult to put into words. It was more felt energetically. It was incredibly powerful for me. It took a long time for me to integrate the energies when I did get back, a long time to land. But the expansiveness that's come from that, a lot of clearing old patterns, old beliefs, a lot of that I found has fallen away. A lot has come to light for me, and it's really been incredibly powerful year for me.
Yeah.
So far, and I know that's just going to keep expanding, because the more we expand and the more we open up to ourselves and to this journey, the more we get presented with, the more opportunities come, the more we allow the universe to guide us.
It is, yeah. And it's all about expansion. But we are on this journey to expand our soul and our growth, but we also need to be willing to expand, because in the end we always have a choice. Like, okay, I feel the expansion pulling, or I feel my heart calling me to a certain direction, but then we have a choice. Do we want to leap, or do we want to stay in the same comfort zone? And that's really, it's always knowing that you and yourself hold that choice. You and yourself hold that power. Do I want my life to stay the same? Am I content with what I've created, or do I feel something bigger is calling me, or do I feel that fulfillment is not there? And then it's inviting you to trust, to go within and to leap and to stretch and to grow. Yeah, so that's beautiful, because this journey is all about growth and expansion. It is allowing our souls to experience certain things so we can grow, so we can also discover more of ourselves, more of who we are in our essence, and uncover all the layers that are not there. Yeah. So what are powerful tools you use to uncover your layers, or when you feel like, what are things you do to support yourself in this growth expansion journey we are on?
A lot of light language. It's a lot of light language, a lot of working on my own original template, a lot of breath work as well. I've been guided to return to my heart through my breath. So a lot of breath work, which is also what I'm assisting others with now, because there's a lot of healing and transformation that can come through non-verbal therapies as well. So there's a lot of healing modalities where I think meditation also plays a very big part of just being in a place of stillness and listening and receptivity as well. Just being open to just being in the inner space. And then a lot to dance and art as well, a lot of the expression. I think the more that we can tap into the expansiveness of ourselves, the more we are in that space of co-creation, the more that we allow the flow to come through us. And as long as we're expressing, whether that is through art, dance, even if it's talk therapy, I mean, there's so many different beautiful modalities, movement, that we're able to express and to transmute. It's a lot of, as long as there's lots of transformation and transmuting, because then we can open ourselves up to new experiences once we've shifted and cleared things that no longer serve us.
Yeah, I love that. But it's stepping in, first taking the stillness, and that can even be a couple of seconds, stepping into our heart, tapping into our belly. For some it's the belly, tapping in, and from that space feel how the energy wants to be expressed, and it can be stillness or drawing, dancing, singing, whatever form. Yeah, but I think that's beautiful, because then you feel, it's also within me, you feel the co-creation between your higher self, God, source, whatever, and Mother Earth, and then allow that to come into form through your expression. And I think also for me, that's the embodiment piece. It's we being the vessel to receive the higher guidance, to receive the codes of source, of Mother Earth, and allow them to come into expression through our body, through our form, through our, because that's, I believe, also a big part why we are here. We, in physical form, can be the translation of these codes. We can anchor them through our beingness. And I know for some this is like, maybe, but that's the important thing. And that can be in any form. And so, but it's also what I love about that part is that it's also seeing the important role we have as each and unique soul to express, and that it can be in so many forms, but to see your contribution. So if you like dancing, see how you can dance just from your heart, and how you then already are anchoring higher divine codes on earth through you, just allowing that dance to express in the most passionate way. But it can also be writing or drawing, making beautiful paintings. And really honoring yourself, that you are a contribution by expressing, by stepping up to create form out of the energy you receive. Sometimes we make it so difficult, but I'm all about making it very simple and understandable, because that is it. Singing a beautiful song while you walk down the street, anchoring codes and seeing that you're making a huge contribution, because while you are creatively expressing, you're not doing something else. You're not thinking about something bad or putting fear energies into the collective. No, you're putting beauty and light and expression and passion and joy. but it's really understanding the empowerment part you have within yourself, but also how you then contribute to the earth, contribute to the bigger collective by creatively expressing, by being yourself and just being in a joyful state and allow, because I also believe when we are in joy, I don't know how that is for you, but then you're already tapping into the source, tapping into Mother Earth, tapping into this flow that is through you. We sometimes think too much about it. Oh no, I need to be a channel. Okay, but when you are in joy and really enjoying yourself and doing fun things, you're receptive to receive and you're not resisting. And then you're also already a channel, and it can come in words, it can come in so many forms. And I think that's, we sometimes as human have made it so complicated, or sometimes also within the spiritual community, people have created these high templates, and it's like, no, it can be very simple. And I think the empowerment needs to come back within. You don't need someone else, you need yourself and your stillness and your breath. I love that as well, because that's also an expression, our breath. And yeah, so that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that piece, and it's so important. Yeah.
Yes, I resonate with you very deeply there, especially with the joy and the love, because when you are in that state, you're in a flow state, and the divine is just flowing through you. And it's about having fun, because I think a lot of the time we can become so serious, so in our minds, that we forget to just be joyful, that we forget just to have that fun and to just allow, and to create, and to be.
Yeah.
This is walking or singing on the beach.
It is, yes. And because there's also a lot of, like, we almost don't find ourselves worthy enough to have joy, or we think, oh, the rest of the world is not having joy, so I will dim my light again. But you being joyful is such a powerful contribution to the collective, and I think that needs to be known. Like, you are responsible for your field, but by you choosing joy, by you choosing love, by you choosing to live your radiance, you also contribute to the rest. And I think that's a shift we as a collective hopefully are going to make. Like, you taking good care of yourself is a contribution, instead of, no, I first need to take care of the rest, or I need to, if the rest of the world chooses fear, oh, I also need to be in fear. No, you can already change so much within yourself. And yeah, so I love the beautiful share, and also, like, that is empowering, but it's not even empowering for yourself. It ripples out so many ways. So thank you for sharing that. It's beautiful. It opens up beautiful pockets of wisdom, because also this is also a form of light language, us sharing, being just in flow and in, yeah. So if there's one more last message you would like to share, what would it be from now?
And last message.
Is there an advice you would give to the listeners, or?
Be in your highest joy, be in your heart, be true to yourself. Yes. Beautiful. And don't take life so seriously.
No, yeah, I think that's yeah, but that also is sometimes also the most hard thing to do. But that is it. Also, not take yourself as seriously. It's like, go in your heart, go in this childlike playfulness, because that opens up. This morning on my morning walk, I stepped out and I saw this beautiful rainbow, and afterwards the sun came up below the clouds. It rised up, but it really showed me, like, if we embrace both parts in a joyful way, we get to rise up. It was such a beautiful display of, yeah, you just see the playfulness, like a child, the wonder, and if we can be in that state, it's magical. So thank you for sharing your, yes, it is. Yes, it truly is. Yeah. So thank you for sharing your beautiful light and your beautiful energy. And if you want to find out more about working with Lara and her beautiful light language and many forms of expression, you can find her information below. And if you want to go with me to Egypt, because that's also going to happen next year, so I'm super excited about that, you can also find that on my website. But for now, I want to say thank you for listening, for being here, and also being you. And I invite you to find your playfulness within yourself, your childlike wonder, to step into your light and just be your radiant expression without any excuses, just unapologetically being you, because that is the true superpower and magic. So thank you, Lara. Thank you. And thank you for listening, for being here. And I see you in the next Soul Love podcast. Much love.
Much love to you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining this episode of Soul Love. If you want to find out more about what we do, you can find it below. And I'll see you in the next episode. Much love.